Live on NBC!
Okay, you bastard. Hi, I am Chandler Blanchard.
I am Jason Byrne.
And we are NameLess.
Yes.
So if you might watch this, we are going to talk about one of our songs that we've made together. And actually, the one that we actually just picked out, it's kind of interesting because I actually made the riff, and you made the lyrics.
On the spot.
Did it really?
Yeah. Alright, so I should probably send you this so we can put it out there someday. But we made Monster right over there.
Yeah, right.
And you just showed me the riff, and we had 2 microphones set up at the time.
What was actually funny was it wasn't because called Alone.
Oh yeah, Alone.
It was called Alone because I have a thing on Facebook. What was recently came up on a memory, and I said one of my best riffs that I made, and it was called Alone on that post.
Yeah. I had lyrics called Alone or something, or Not Alone, and it was towards my significant other at the time. And
that's interesting.
yes, and I don't know. It's just I think the lyrics weren't working with the riff, and then at the time. At the time, yes.
Okay.
And then you were still playing the riff anyway, and then we just I don't know. I said, looking back in memories when we were young, and then it just really went out.
Quick question. So I know some backgrounds for some songs. When you do sing that song, is it the same idea of how you're singing other songs like Tearing and Broken, or is it actually talking about how I've kind of put the song into when someone breaks a person or when they become a monster because you make them one of them?
Yeah.
So is it still about some?
I mean, anybody can interpret it the way they want to, but
Yeah.
the way I interpret it is you've been friends with somebody for so long, looking back in memories when we were young, childhood friends, and then they just up and leave. Somebody you're really close to, you're really attached to that person, and then they just go off and think they're better than you or something, and then that just really breaks you, so you're just look at this monster you made, and just look at what you've done to me.
I am going to ask this, and I can bleep this out. Who was that? Again, I can bleep this out.
I mean, multiple people. When I'm singing it, sometimes I'll think of my old friend I was friends with ever since birth, and then he just disappeared when we were 10, 11, 12.
Mostly how I kind of look at the song and stuff. It's kind of really interesting because when you do listen to the song, you do have a few ideas of what we might be talking about. But when I speak some of my lines, I kind of think of it as someone has been pushed around too much, where to the point people look at them as the monster.
Yes, like I said, you can interpret it any way you want, but it fits together. If somebody just leaves you, wouldn't you be kind of pissed off? I don't know. For me, friendships are very, very strong. So if you're friends with somebody, you want to be with that person all your life. You want to when you have a kid, you make them your uncle, your aunt. It's any kind of friend is a really close friend of mine. So it's when people just up and leave and just abandon you, it hurts a lot. So when you become that monster, wow, you really got rid of all those memories. You really just dropped me for no reason. That's kind of what Monster is to me, at least.
One of my favorite ideas for Monsters when we did make it was we had this little line that we keep on using. Yeah. You put me down to my knees, and we used that 3 times. There were different songs. Was it Broken?
Oh yeah, frickin'. All right, yeah.
Broken, Tearing, and I think Monster. I think maybe. I remember that we would keep on using that one line for a lot of songs.
Yeah.
And then I think you changed it up a little bit more.
It's on Broken.
It's unbroken, yeah.
Monster, and then it was on Uprise. But
Uprise.
it like.
But that's kind of the interesting thing when you make a song. You will use some lyrics in other songs that I've done before.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where the song really does get really good, like, and here's the pro about Jason's writing. Literally, I don't touch anything. With lyrics wise, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I might have like a thought like, hey, what if you like change that word to like this word? But that's it, maybe. But like that is like the good thing actually with you being, you can say like the technical like the first writer in the band is it literally any song he brings to the table, it doesn't really ever get changed, and that's again of a good thing because that kind of can show you as a writer or as a person who's in a band, you do have some good writing skills if you no one needs to change anything.
Yeah, Tearing changed
Once Broken,
and that was this year. like Tearing, when I wrote that in 2017, like 4 years ago, that's been the same the whole time. There was one time where we were going to change something. We were going to add more to the at the time rap part.
oh yeah,
And
then
but it didn't
do it.
work out with the person that we had. So I thought, you know what, just keep it, but sing it out. It was supposed to be,
And it's kind of a little bit interesting as well for like monster wise is like I know you improv the beginning a little bit when we did record some lines. You did improv that a little bit in the recording of the
EP.
of the EP in the beginning of it.
Yes.
And I do think what really does stand out for a monster is because they haven't heard of it and we know how it sounds, it's raw. And we know how much effort we put into that. Plus, there's one part with all three of us screaming. And I think for the song-wise, for writing and how it's played, I think it's very decent.
Oh, yes.
For a running down of a stupid site that is stupid, to be honest with you.
We're not sponsored by them, so we can talk as much trap we want.
But I think that's kind of like why our EP could be very interesting with Monster and other songs alike. Where it is raw and it is not perfect. I do think, maybe out of every one of them, I do think Monster is the most mixed nicely and I think cleaned, if I'm correct.
Monster, it has its crazy parts in it, but out of all the songs, yes, it's very beautifully mixed. It's very raw. With the program that we use, there's no as much as we used it, there wasn't really a way to make it sound so produced and actually professional. So, but we did the best we could with that.
Oh yeah,
definitely. So with Monster being the album closer, that's the dessert, the frickin' beautiful aftertaste of what you get from the EP, because it goes hard, it goes fast, it's everything that you want in a song, in a rock song, that just is beautifully put out and just ends the story on a high.
Quick question as well.
Yep.
I've always listened to Monster. Is it short to you? It seems short a